against the system? You think can there
I
be some
think
change if they do rally against the system? Also,
I think black men need to speak up in a lot of ways. Like our community, all you hear is the women against every. All you hear is the women. They the loudest voices. They the only thing that cause any type of change. Like black men, we too passive when it come to like certain things like that. Like which is why most men don't get divorced. That don't mean that they don't want to not be with them women, but most women start they file for divorce first. Most women go file for child support and custody first. Like we just too passive when it comes to certain things. We need to get active when it comes to our kids and what we believe in.
That's what I'm saying. The message still
Is it passive, or you think they just ain't? They just really want to fight for
I
their
think men. I think like it's all
They
them all
married.
these men in these comments, this comment and stuff on his panel tonight. Like they all gonna come here and comment, but why is black women the only voices that's heard echoed throughout our community? We don't really. We just I don't know.
Are black men the only people on child support?
usually.
Everybody.
What my don't understand is that this is not a black issue. This is an issue amongst all men in Western culture. The child support system. Listen, just because we're black and we're speaking on it does not mean that it's limited to black people.
Sure.
All right. So there's white men that's going through it, there's Asian men that's going through it, there's men of all colors and creeds that is saying that this is an issue. And so for whatever reason, you think that we're passive and we're not.
Not just
men
black
is
men,
not
all men are passive.
No, they're not. Men are not passive. Men have spent, I know men that have spent over $100,000 fighting for their kid. I know men that have absolutely fought the family court system and lost.
But that's on an individual basis. He's talking
No, it's
rallying
not.
and
Collectively,
general.
guys have been talking about this for a long time. This is not the first time they have rallied against it. Even during this past election cycle, they said, men, what do you want? They say, we want to update family court laws. They said, nah, we'll give you fucking weed, federal weed forgiveness. That is the loudest thing that men wanted. And you know what they did? They shamed men for it. They shamed men for it. So
wait, who shamed men, Anton? Was
women,
it men that
women shamed men, shamed black men specifically when they say they wanted to update family court laws.
I agree with you, Anton. But so not every man is not passive. I'm not talking about every man, but I know from my experience, whenever I talk to somebody about, like, if I'm talking to a guy, I'm trying to give him like advice on custody or something like that. You'd be surprised how many men haven't researched or called a lawyer yet, and they have no. They just in the wind. Like they don't know. They don't have any type of knowledge on the system. They don't.
I'll give you an example. I know, and I've coached a lot of guys. You know, the one thing that most guys, especially black men, don't do that do have custody of their children, they don't put the woman on child support. They don't put the woman on child support. Every single guy that I know that has full custody of their child and can put the woman on child support, don't put the woman on child support. The nature of men is to be providers. The nature of men is just to solve for the problem, not necessarily go the full way, because the main thing that they care about is the best interest of the child. You understand what I'm saying? So the thing that you're having a conversation about, or the lack of, men do what they got to do to solve a problem. Most guys don't even get into a situation because you got to look at the majority of the population. Most men don't have children out of wedlock, right? Most men are not in a position to where they may have children, but they may still be married. So because I'm aware, right, and I'm not going through that particular issue, I'm operating from a position of privilege. I'm operating from a position of power. So because I'm aware of the situation, but most men are so focused on just taking care of their family, taking care of things. A lot of them are passive. A lot of them are happy wife, happy life. A lot of them are blue pilled. A lot of them are trying to pay for pussy. And so you have a small demographic of men that may be affected by it, but it doesn't mean that guys are not passionate about it. It's just that they don't know until they get surprised. You get hit by a fucking bus and you get half of your shit taken, and you talking about calling a lawyer. This motherfucker trying to survive.
So don't you think that's a problem? Because I kind of get what Mont is saying, because we have all these women dropping "my baby daddy ain't shit," whoop de whoop. They're talking loud, but I don't often see men talking about their baby mothers who ain't shit. So I
because
think that
men don't usually talk negatively about women publicly.
so
Men
if they
suffer
want
That is
silently
correct.
because we are men and we used to going through it and just overcoming it. Women are used to getting the help. Women are used to having the microphones. Women are used to other people rallying behind them and boosting them up. Men are used to just solving for it, suffering through it, and trying to become better on the other end of it. We're
Right.
not used to getting on the internet and saying, "Oh my God," getting on fucking TikTok and talking about my baby mama's hurt me. That's not what we
Right,
used to.
you're right. But
That's
that's
not,
Ask you a question,
that's
Anton.
not what I'm saying. I'm saying that
That's-
if men can't complain about the system, which I think is totally screwed up, if they're not coming together and doing something about it.
We can't complain about the system if we're not coming together to do something about it.
Anton, I got a question for you.
We can't complain about the system unless we're coming together to do something about it.
I think that more men need to be more vocal about what's going on. Like their baby mamas ain't shit, showing proof. Like I'm granted, y'all gonna say, "Oh, men don't gossip; they figure it out." No, but men are getting taken advantage of.
No, for sure.
I have a
I got it.
when y'all say doing something about the system, what are you asking to have done about the system?
Well, the first thing in his message was just the point of rallying. You know, we don't got to come online and complain as women do, but there should be a voice coming together of a bunch of men that feels this pain and see the need for change.
Okay, so number one, men don't do that. Number one, so that's not gonna happen. So
men don't do what? Men don't do what? Acknowledge people are together for it. What are you saying?
What I'm saying is men aren't gonna come in public and rally like that. That's women do that. Men don't do that. If they did, they would have done that already. Number two is my question is, okay, so then you have to ask yourself, if you're wanting to rally and you're wanting to voice these things, what do you want to have happen? What is your ask? I just think a lot of times we as people,
fair laws.
I think a lot of times we as people, we always sit around and say, we need to do this, we need to do that. And it's just a bunch of stuff that we need to do, but we don't even really know what is the ask. What are you asking for? What do you want?
Do you know? Hold on,
You would have to
hold on.
understand your specific state's court laws and be able to identify what is actually wrong with the law, or what is it that you actually need to have changed. Like, do you want it to be changed? How do they determine how much time the child spends with each parent? How are you determining who is responsible for what? Or how do you determine the paternity laws and how all that works? Because each state
needs updates.
Y'all do know that men are doing what they're supposed to do. Like there is a movement. Men aren't waiting to change laws in family court. Men just ain't fucking with y'all no more. So then that's when they say, "Hey, don't marry her. Hey, don't have kids by her." Then what's happening is that men are no longer focused on women. They no longer, when you say that men don't want to get married or men is doing this and doing that, they're that because of what they see happening. We naturally adjust. We naturally move differently. We naturally, you know what I'm saying? Now we all sharing information and saying, now we all sharing information and saying, okay, listen, we not gonna wait for the family court, but at the same time, we gonna slot you. We not gonna marry you. We not fucking with you. We not being stepfathers. And we see y'all getting mad because we spreading these messages, but we are making adjustments. We just not doing it the way that y'all would do it, and thinking that it's gonna play out the same way. We not doing it the same way that y'all doing it.
Listen, I disagree with you, but real quick, guys.
So why even complain about the family court laws in the first place?
Well, two things can be true at the same time. It don't listen, just because we making adjustments and we not gonna wait for something to happen to us, don't mean that we're not also having a conversation and making sure that we acknowledge the fact that everything is fucked up. Two things can be true.
So I
don't have to, like, even me. I'm not under duress. I'll never, ever pay child support. I'm not in that position.
We're not talking about you, babe.
But just because I'm very proactive in making sure that that's not going to happen to me, does not mean that I'm not going to advocate for the system to be changed. And that's what I use my platform for, to have these conversations as well as support other men that are going through it. And so
Okay, so
two things can be true at the same time.
right, but what's more important to, like, you know, say fuck women, we're not gonna marry them, we just gonna have babies and pay child support, and then at the same
He didn't
time
say that.
I didn't
complain.
say that. You adding words. I never said that last part.
You didn't just say we're not fucking with y'all, we're
He
not
said don't
marrying
have
y'all.
kids with him either.
That's correct.
He said a variety of things. I'm going back to everything. Can I finish?
I'm just point of information. You did lie
You can do that
technically.
when I'm done.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you. So, like I was saying, there's a complaint, like, okay, because Val made a good point, right? She's like, okay, what are these laws that y'all want to advocate for? If y'all so upset, y'all hurt by it, what are y'all actually doing to come together to change it? And we just said that men don't really come together like that and make those changes. Usually it's women that organize and try to fight for different, laws to change it, things like that. And then Anton said, well, we don't need to do that. We're not doing it the way y'all think we should do it. We're just not fucking with y'all. We're not marrying y'all and or not having babies by y'all. But we oftentimes see it the opposite way. They're having babies more often than they are getting married. And then there's still the complaint because y'all in so much pain with child support, right? So my thing is, why isn't it just as much passion behind saying fuck women and not marrying them to going up to the courthouse or advocating amongst men and trying to change the laws that's hurting y'all so bad?
Y'all should watch this documentary. It's literally called Red Pill, and it's on Amazon, and you can go and watch it. And if you see exactly how many men are at the courthouse, are advocating for it, because there's different people that do different things that ultimately hit different things. What you'll find is that they're meeting resistance from y'all, from black women, from white women, from feminists that speak just like y'all, that are advocating against updating family court laws.
Okay,
So,
so are you
so
saying
while go ahead.
no, after you, sir?
So while you're sitting there saying what we should do, we're also meeting resistance from the very people that actually benefit from a system. And you have to understand, it's lawyers, it's judges, it's a multi-billion-dollar a year system that is basically being propped up and is set up to fleece men out of their money every single day.
Okay. So are you saying that when these men go up to the courthouse that there are women inside of that courthouse advocating against the change they want to make? Are you saying that women hold the seats to do or do not or turn over these child support laws? Are they the ones in charge inside of the courthouse? Is that what you're saying? Because you're
No,
saying like they're going up to the courthouse, but it's women like us that are advocating against it. But like I'm not in the courthouse. You're saying black women, white women. So are you saying only women hold these positions to change these laws for men?
no, that's not what I'm saying.
So who's in the courthouse if the men are going up to the courthouse and saying, "Hey, this is harming us. We're rallying together here. Here's why we need to change these things." And I agree, a lot of stuff should be changed for y'all. But I ask, it goes back to Val. What is it that you all want to be changed? Can you give me one specific thing? And is that something the courts are just flat out saying no to?
It's
Because
I
if
very
think
you
common
are
sense.
doing all this
one of the
advocacy,
specific things is that child support should be completely abolished altogether.
okay. So so that has actually been put in place and the courts just denied it. When did they do that?
No, that's not how it works. What happens is
Oh,
you have to reach out to your legislators. But at the
okay.
same time, legislators, have you ever heard of a lobbyist? Have you ever heard of
Hmm.
lobbying groups?
Hmm.
There are people that are benefiting from a system that exists that is designed to keep them rich while fleecing men, everyday guys,
Who are
out of
these
their
people?
resources. So it doesn't matter if you go up to a courthouse. There are rallies that are had at the courthouse. But the
But you
point
just
is
said
that
that's what they are doing, and
give me
that's
give me a second. Give me a second. There are rallies that are held that are visible. You should go and watch the documentary. There are opposing sides that show up and shout these guys down, right? There are bigger groups. They rally together and they find out because when you go and have a rally, right? When you do something, you usually have to get a permit to do so, which means that it's public information, and people that are on the other side that actually advocate against it, and usually it's feminists, and there's much larger feminist groups that then show up and prevent these guys from being able to be there. And often at times, if you look at the documentary, the police will ask those guys to leave so that it doesn't cause a disturbance. There is a opposition that is against men updating family court laws. And even when we had a conversation about it in the last election, they said that we want to make sure that black men get resolution as far as on a federal level for weed, and all of them, even on social media, because outreach is not just at the family court steps. Outreach is reaching out to your legislators. Outreach is making sure that you get on social media and bring visibility to an issue so that they speak to it when it comes to voting and all of that type of stuff. It is being silenced on every single front. And so what you shouldn't be asking us is what are we doing? Because we doing what you should be asking yourself is, why are so many women that look like you are against it?
Oh, I couldn't answer that. I was just more so wondering if men are doing the proper work to try to change the laws. Like you said, okay, what I
Why you
heard
don't
was
want to have a conversation about why so many women are against it?
I don't know. Maybe because they
You
benefit
didn't know
from
that
it.
men was doing this either, but you don't want to explore that other part of the conversation.
You said what?
You don't want to explore the other part of the conversation, and you didn't know what men was doing either.
What I'm saying are the women that okay. We get that there are a lot of women that benefit off of child support. I get that. We get that there are women that abuse child support. I am against that. And I don't think it's just women that look like me, because it was men that made these laws in the first place. So all I'm asking is, outside of the noise of women rah against you outside of the courthouse, you just said that rallying, going to the courthouse, people come, bigger groups come, they shut it down and nothing gets done. You then said that you can lobby, you can call your legislators. All I'm asking is, are men taking those steps? If it's not getting done by going and picket signing outside of the courthouse, are they taking those extra steps to get in front of the judge, to get right in front of the legislators?
You can't get in front of a judge. That's not how you change laws, is to get in front of a judge.
Okay, what I'm saying
But they doing what they got to do. Yes.
What I'm saying is, guys, why isn't it? Are you saying that the people inside of the courts are full of women that are totally against these changes?
It's not just female judges
So who can make the changes for you guys? Who do y'all need to talk to specifically? I'm just asking, because I'm saying because I want to see y'all get helped. You know what I mean? Who do you need to talk to specifically? Forget the rallying and being, cops telling you to leave the courthouse or whatever you just said. Who do you need to talk to specifically? Because I don't know about it. I'm not a lobbyist or anything, but y'all seem to know way more than I do. So I'm just trying to learn, if you're being hurt and harmed so badly by the situation, who can you talk to specifically that holds the power that can help you?
Jez, I understand your question. You're pretty much asking, like, what is the game plan? What needs to be done in order for these things to change? But I do think you're looking at the judicial system in such a simple lens, and it's much more complex than just kind of like walking to a courthouse like, yo.
I know that.
No, hold on. I figured it out. Wait. I'm gonna answer your question. Can I
respond to mine real quick? Because I understand. I'm not slow. I understand that you can't go up into the courthouse and say, "Hey, judge, I'm having trouble with child support." We understand that's not how it works.
You delivered it that way.
We understand that there are levels of getting things done. All I'm asking is, do men know specifically what those things are in order to get it done?
Okay, cool. That's a great point. Let me ask you a question. Are you for reparations?
Oh, absolutely.
How come you haven't gotten them yet? Who do you need to talk to? Who do you need to talk to get reparations?
Well, unfortunately, the people that withhold the reparation are
racism.
Let her finish.
The people that are withholding the reparation are the people that are the reason why we need it in the first place. So me talking to them is a lost cause, because they never wanted, our people or people that are owed reparations to get them in the first place, even though they took and stole a lot of stuff from people, right? That's just what they do.
Who do you need to talk to specifically? Do you need to go to the courthouse? Who do you need to talk to specifically?
We don't need to.
Why haven't y'all spoken with him yet about getting reparations?
I don't even think that's a valid question, because we already know the game of reparations and how the government holds that over the carrot over the Black community. They said that this is what's owed to us, and they specifically did not give it to us because they had their own ideas and plans about us. We don't have to get into this, but I don't know. I don't know, Anton. Do you know? Do you?
I don't know. The reason I didn't ask a rhetorical question. How would I know?
Let's stay on topic. I don't know. All I know is that reparations will not come from the very people that have set up this country for Black people to be in a position that they're in. We don't have to get into it.
Wait a minute.
Let's stay on topic of child support.
No, we are. I'm bringing it full circle.
Getting the point.
Wait.
He's bringing the point to you, Judge.
Hold on.
Okay, so y'all don't know who to talk to. I don't know how to talk to.
You're very passionate about this thing that you have been familiar with for years, and you speak so fervently on it.
We don't have to speak on it right now. I don't know.
I'm not speaking on it. I'm using it to make a point.
I don't know.
Why do you want to talk over me now?
I'm stupid and I'm dumb.
No, you're not. You're smart, and you know exactly.
I'm very stupid.
You know exactly why I asked the question.
I'm very dumb.
Because you are being. The reason why I asked that question, for the people in the back that's a little bit slower than me because I'm a C student.
No, you're the smartest one on the panel.
Is because you're being intentionally ignorant.
No, I'm
You're
not.
asking questions that you already know the answer to. In the same way that you know the answer to why you ain't getting reparations, it's the same answer as to why we not changing family court law.